So I think it's been 4 years this coming week since I first joined TikTok. And between my main account and my backup account, I am on my seventh account and 15th account, respectively, because TikTok had a bit of a learning curve for me. And it took me a while to learn the things that we are and are not allowed to say in videos on TikTok. And I still don't have the slightest fucking idea what we are and are not allowed to say in comments that we leave on TikTok. Because almost every single comment that I leave on anybody's video, I get a CGV on. However, some of the things that I have learned on this app is that on both sides of the political spectrum, all across the entire political spectrum in the United States, people generally speaking, regardless of what their individual political beliefs are, tend to have a couple of things in common. An extremely short attention span, for which I blame TikTok almost exclusively. Our brains have just been conditioned that way by using this app as much as we all do, which is not a great thing. It's really not a great thing. Second thing, people, again, across the entire political spectrum are extremely, generally speaking, let me rephrase that. People in the United States generally can and very often are extremely emotional when it comes to politics, regardless of what their political beliefs are. And clearly we saw that in response to the 2020 election as a result of Donald Trump and right-wing media's constant lying to their base that the 2020 election had been stolen. And we've seen Newsmax have to pay Dominion voting machines a huge amount of money. We've seen OAN have to pay Dominion voting machines a huge amount of money. We saw Fox News have to pay Dominion voting machines almost $800 million for their lies about Dominion voting machines and the stolen 2020 election. We saw people on the right following the 2020 election who believed Donald Trump's lies travel from all across the United States of America to Washington, D.C. in advance of January 6, 2021, where they then stormed the Capitol and all got arrested and charged with multiple felonies and convicted and sent to prison and all of that stuff. Beat the ever-loving shit out of uniformed police officers, and that became their definition of patriotism. And those of us on the left to this day look at those people like they are absolutely fucking insane. I think rightfully so. I think justifiably so. And, you know, under normal circumstances, for me personally, when I see people who are lied to by people who they should be able to trust, people who are in positions of authority, who they should be able to trust, who have lied to them, and because they trusted those lies, went to Washington, D.C., and then said, I'm gonna commit crimes because this election was stolen, because I believe them that our election was stolen from us. And I think a very large number of those people believed that. They believed that and acted accordingly. Under normal circumstances, I would have empathy for those people, except for the fact that those people uniformly are just a bunch of hateful fucking cunts. They're just assholes. They think they know more than you. They are incredibly smug about it. They talk to you like you're stupid, when in fact they are the ones who are objectively stupid, as we have all learned through actual evidence. The J6 committee hearings, the Mueller report, everything that we have learned about the 2020 election has demonstrated conclusively to all of us normies that these people are incredibly dumb and gullible and cruel and smug and think they know more than everybody else. And then there's the left and the 2024 election. These guys had absolutely zero actual evidence that the 2020 election was stolen. 65 lawsuits filed in different federal courts. They lost 64 of them. The one that they won affected maybe 200 ballots. Zero evidence. But they were upset with how that election turned out. They were extremely emotionally upset with how that election turned out. But they had zero evidence. And then we get to the 2024 election. And the left. For the last 26 years, I have earned my living as a licensed, practicing trial attorney. When I go into a courtroom, I have to have dependable, reliable, credible, provable, admissible evidence that I can present to a court, that I can present to a witness in front of a jury. If I don't have that kind of evidence, I don't get to do anything. With regard to the left and the 2024 election, I'm going to ruffle some feathers and hurt some feelings. You guys sound exactly like the MyPillow guy following the 2020 election. I mean 100%. And you have shown zero credible, admissible evidence that you could put in front of a jury in a court of law. Zero. I get where you're coming from emotionally, but this country is an incredibly racist, bigoted, and misogynistic country. Our electorate voted for this. That is reality. Donald Trump got 77 million votes for this. That sucks. That is a hard pill to swallow. It is awful. It is also objectively, provably true and real. It just is. It just is. This is what we voted for because this is who we are as a country. Hard pill to swallow. It's a fact. We are a racist, misogynistic country. Prove me wrong. with evidence.